There are places people avoid, not because they're scared, but because they know something is waiting for them there. The Forest of Dead Paths is one of those places. You won't find it on a map. You won't stumble onto it by accident. But if you ever wander inside, you don't always walk back out. Tonight, I want to tell you the story of how I went there, why I went there, and what followed me back, or what I thought followed me back. This is the story of my night guide. The disappearance. 3 years ago, my older brother Ilya vanished in that forest. Search teams looked for a week. Dogs, drones, volunteers, they found nothing. Officially, he got lost. Unofficially, people said, the forest took him. I didn't believe that. Not until a hunter found Ilya's old phone on a path. Only one file was still on it, an audio recording. Short, broken, recorded while he was running. Play it with heavy reverb if you're adding sound effects. If someone finds this, don't follow him. He doesn't lead you back. He leads you deeper. After hearing that, I had no choice. I packed my gear, and I went back to the place where he disappeared. Arrival. The moment I stepped into the forest, I felt it. That heavy, suffocating silence. No wind, no birds, no insects. Just dead stillness. I set up camp near a rotting wooden trail sign. Someone had carved words into it with a knife. Do not follow the light. At first, I laughed. Another creepy legend. But then night fell, and deep between the trees, I saw a light. A soft, flickering lantern glow, moving between the trunks, like someone was walking. The guide. At first, I thought it was another hiker. But as the figure stepped closer, I realized how wrong I was. Tall. Too tall. Arms too long. Skin stretched tight like bark. And the worst part? He wasn't touching the ground. He hovered. Just a few inches above it. The lantern in his hand flickered, not with warmth, but with a cold, yellow glow. He didn't speak. He just raised his arm and pointed deeper into the forest. And stupidly, desperately, I followed him. The deeper we went, the older the forest looked. Ancient trees, massive trunks, cracked bark that looked almost alive. The smell changed too. Damp soil, rotten wood, something else, something sour. Along the path, I started noticing things. Torn backpacks, ripped clothing, shoes, bits of fabric. No people, just their traces. But the silence pressed on my skull like a weight. Then the guide stopped. He lifted his lantern toward a tree trunk and scratched into the bark were the words, "Don't go any further." My stomach dropped, but I still kept following him. I wasn't thinking logically anymore. I just wanted to find my brother. Somewhere behind me, I heard a voice, a whisper. Female. Soft. Barely audible. You shouldn't have come. I turned. No one. He's leading you to the root. Turn back while you can. Her voice's drifted through the still air, too clearly to be imagination. The guide froze. Then he turned his head toward me, and his neck cracked like a dead branch snapping. The lantern brightened, angrier, harsher. He pointed forward again, this time with force. And I followed, because the whisper behind me turned into footsteps, slow, creeping, close. The deeper we went, the more wrong everything felt. The trees looked like they were breathing. The ground felt soft, warm. Sometimes something shifted under my boots. Then I found a destroyed campsite, a half-burned tent, ruined sleeping bag, ash scattered everywhere. And on the ground, a photo of me and Ilya. The guide stood beside me perfectly still, as if admiring it. That's when I saw his hands clearly. Long fingers, root-like, gray skin, cold, not human. He smelled like damp earth, like a grave that had just been opened. We stepped into a clearing. At the center stood a tree so massive its branches vanished into the dark. At its base, a hole, a yawning black pit. The guide lifted his lantern and leaned forward over the edge. Then he motioned for me to look. My heart thudded painfully as I stepped toward the hole. I looked inside, and I saw them. Faces, hundreds of them, pressed into the roots, motionless, mouthless, eyeless, but human. And I recognized one, Ilya. His expression was vacant, but I swear he felt me there. The guide tilted his head again. Another sickening crack. And I understood. He wasn't showing me the root. He was feeding it, and I was the next meal. I ran. Branches tore at my arms. Roots grabbed my ankles. The ground itself pulsed under my feet. Voices screamed from all directions. Some begged. Some whispered my name. Some told me to stop. Behind me, the lantern glowed. Steady. Patient. Following me. Never rushing, because the forest was doing its work for him. But somehow, through raw panic alone, I made it out. I burst through the tree line and collapsed onto cold dirt. Morning light. Birds. Normal air. I was alive. But in my hand, I was holding the guide's lantern, still glowing. I went home. The lantern came with me. I couldn't throw it away. I don't think it would have let me. Every night, it glowed a little brighter. Every night, I heard faint, soft footsteps. One night I woke up, and the lantern was pointing directly at my bedroom door. 2 months later, search teams found my empty tent near the edge of the forest of dead paths. Inside it, they found my phone. There was a new audio recording on it. My voice. Running. Breathing. Terrified. He took me. Don't follow him. Run. Run while you can still. My footprints led into the forest. None came back out. They never found my body. But hikers say that on some nights, a tall, thin figure floats between the trees, holding a lantern that glows with cold, yellow light. And when he turns his head, they hear the snap of breaking bone. Some say it's a legend, but others They know the truth. The forest took me. And now I guide the next ones deeper.